Mrityuhasa. Anyone would like to chant the verse? Okay, so we'll read the synonyms, then translation.
Yada, okay. Anayogo pisita sucheto maya susidasya vishwajateng ananya hetu swata megati syad atyandikya yatra na mrityuhasaha.
Very good, Mataji. Thank you. Synonyms, translation, and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Synonyms, yada, when, no, not. Yoga upachittasu, to powers developed by yoga. Chetaha, the attention. Mayasu, manifestations of Maya. Siddhasya, of a perfect yogi. Visajjate, is attracted. Anga, my dear mother. Ananya hetushu, having no other cause. Atha, then, me, to me. Gati, his progress. Syat, becomes. Atyantiki, unlimited. Yatra, where, no, not. Mrityuha saha, power of death. Translation. When a perfect yogi's attention is no longer attracted to the byproducts of mystic powers, which are manifestations of the external energy, his progress towards me becomes unlimited, and thus the power of death cannot overcome him. Purport. Yogis are generally attracted to the byproducts of mystic yogic power, for they can become smaller than the smallest or greater than the greatest, achieve anything they desire, have power even to create a planet, or bring anyone they like under their subjugation. Yogis who have incomplete information of the result of devotional service are attracted by these powers, but these powers are material. They have nothing to do with spiritual progress. As other material powers are created by the material energy, mystic yogic powers are also material. A perfect yogi's mind is not attracted by any material power, but is simply attracted by unalloyed service to the Supreme Lord. For a devotee, the process of merging into the Brahman effulgence is considered to be hellish, and yogic power, or the preliminary perfection of yogic power, to be able to control the senses, is automatically achieved. As for elevation to higher planets, a devotee considers this to be simply hallucinatory. A devotee's attention is concentrated only upon the eternal loving service of the Lord, and therefore the power of death has no influence over him. In such a devotional state, a perfect yogi can attain the status of immortal knowledge and bliss. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purports of the third canto, 27th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Understanding Material Nature. Hare Krishna. We'll chant the Mangal Charan prayer. If you know it, you can unmute and please chant alongside with me. Om Ajnantimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadama Dati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Pravadam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitanscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Taptakanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Krishna Bhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Hari Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve कौरवाणी प्रचारणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादि शब्दारिणी। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे,
हरे
हरे राम
राम
राम राम
राम
हरे
राम
हरे।
हरे
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे,
हरे हरे
हरे
हरे
राम
राम
राम राम
राम राम
हरे हरे।
हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्णाय भूतले श्रीमते राधा सनीते नामिने। हरे कृष्णा। So the theme, we just read the nice purport, is, and it brings to conclusion chapter 27, why devotion transcends mysticism. So we'll cover these in 2 slides and then leave some time, if possible, on question answers, or we could discuss it further on the Nityam Bhagavatam forum. Hare Krishna. So, Prabhu's Mataji's Swayam Bhagwan Keshav Swami, he has these small, short reels, clips. So, on that, there is one reel which says, everything is happening in our mind. First, it starts here in our mind. Everything is going on in our mind. And then the thoughts, we contemplate stuff, whatever it is. Then that comes to our tongue, our words, and then we express whatever that we have in our mind. And that is so that, others can also, we can communicate with others. So we express through words, and then we act upon those words. So it is thoughts, words, and deeds, action. Correct? So Maharaj was saying that a sadhaka does the same thing, and this could be either for material or spiritual uh, things. So he says a sadhaka, what he's doing is his words, his thoughts, his words, and his deeds are all spiritual. It's spiritualized. So he's having spiritual thoughts. He speaks spiritual words which are connected to spirituality, and his deeds are all spiritual. So when we are listening to Bhagavatam, what we're doing is the speaker's words, correct? The thoughts are there. This is also triggering. So it will help us think spiritual stuff. It will help us speak spiritual. It will help us act spiritual. And what happens is when your thoughts, words, and deeds, everything is aligned, your body, mind, and the soul is aligned, that is Krishna consciousness. So this is what Bhagavatam, any sadhana that we do, japa, cooking bhoga, honoring prasadam, is just the alignment of body, mind, and soul. Hare Krishna. So why devotion transcends mysticism? So, mysticism, first we need to understand what is mysticism. It is this uh, itcha, desire to become one with God. And that's why, I want to be God. So I say, I am God, you're God, everyone is God, everything, whatever is, we're all God, 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 God. Now, if we look at it, why? Because there is the basic understanding, he's the supreme proprietor, supreme controller, supreme enjoyer. And in our experiences, we have some amount of control, proprietorship, and enjoyment, but it is very flickering and very, very little, small, little, teeny weeny bit. But we want more and more. So then we know, oh God, even I want to become God. Okay, so this is mysticism. So yoga is one of the techniques of connection. Actually, yoga comes from the yuj word, from the root word yuj, means union, to connect. But connect what? Connect, there are always two things, right? There is A and B. You have to connect A, B with B. So that is yoga. Now, the true purpose, the essence of yoga is to elevate consciousness. Elevate consciousness. So we have this Krishna consciousness. Okay. It is elevating that consciousness, Krishna consciousness, correct? In a relationship of loving devotional service with God. whose name is Krishna. So that is the true purpose of yoga. Now, what happens is we missed this whole point of what the true purpose of yoga is. So, suppose if you want to reach a destination and you are walking, correct? You need to know the direction where you're going. It's not enough to know that where, how to walk. Yes, how to walk is necessary, but you need to know where to go. Where I'm going from point A to point B. You should know where point B is, correct? And then what is the path, the journey to go? If you just walk aimlessly in any direction, something like, let's say you're on a treadmill, correct? In treadmill, you're walking, but what happens? Are you going any distance? You burned a lot of calories. Spent a lot of time, but you're still in the same place. So similarly, when people are doing all these yogic exercises, correct? They are doing exercise and exercises. Yes, there is benefit of the body, correct? But it's not really moving the needle in terms of the essence of yoga to elevate the consciousness. Hare Krishna. Now, in Bhagavad Gita, you know what Bhagavad Gita is? Bhagavad Gita is the manual for life. And it talks about these three types of union. One is karma, actions, reaction. The other is in terms of your jnana, knowledge. You need to have knowledge, as we said, that yes, you need to get to a certain direction, that GPS kind of analogy. And the third is bhakti yoga. So these are the three main sections in Bhagavad Gita, in which there are six chapters are put as first six is karma, the next six is bhakti yoga, and the final six is jnana yoga. So once it is all brought together, the conclusion that Krishna puts forward is that bhakti is the only essence, true purpose of yoga is to do bhakti. That is what yoga is all about. It is not to get all these other benefits of yoga for the body and the mind. Most important is the function of the soul, which is bhakti. Hare Krishna. So then Krishna says, in 7.16, there are four kinds of people who get onto this path of devotional service. That is, motivation is there, correct? The distressed, desire of wealth, one who's searching, inquisitive, and a self realized soul. So these are the four types of people who come. Yes, initially, all of us have come through one of these paths, but then the progress that you make, correct, you start elevating the consciousness. See this yoga? You start elevating the consciousness. So, first, the consciousness is basal, material, self serving. And then finally, when the knowledge comes in, the deeds, uh, SB Swami's instruction, mind, birds, body, mind, and soul alignment. That's when the elevation starts happening. Now, mystic yoga, if you actually deconstruct it, it comes to this. It is motivated by power. I want to be God. And as Prabhupada has explained, there are fantastic material things a mystic yogi can do. Become larger than the largest, smaller than the smallest, heaviest, read people's mind, control people's mind. I mean, there are so many. That is that power, that lust for power. Then it is conditional on acquiring it. So the moment there is any adichan, there's any roadblock over there, then, the doubts and the questions start that, oh, am I really going to? And of course, nowadays in this Kali Yuga, the mind is so degraded that it is impossible to get to that level of yogic powers. You could just do, maybe preliminary or little bit body contortions and keep the body fit and healthy. And then finally, even those who get to the topmost level of mysticism, even then it is not complete because it gets interrupted by desires. Vishwamitra, one of the greatest yogis, what happened to him? Just listening to the ankle bells of the Apsara, he got totally uh, uh, all his concentration, all whatever tens and thousands of years, okay, bhango get all got washed away because the desire awoke in him. Hare Krishna. So what it does, we can understand it only tamps down the material desires which are there. It doesn't eradicate it. It's only symptomatic cure. It doesn't actually cure the cause of the disease. Hare Krishna. So mystic yoga neglects the true purpose of yoga, which, if you see on the second heading over here, what it is, connect to God in a relationship of loving devotional service. And it degrades further to serve ourselves. Hare Krishna. So, what is it? Failure and wasted efforts. So, that is mysticism and its cause and effect. Hare Krishna. So, now why devotion transcends mysticism? Now, you see these two pictures. I found it very interesting. Here, there is Prabhupada offering obeisance, and here there is some Mataji doing some kind of yogic pose. I don't know what this asana is called. How difficult is this? Okay, yes, through practice, it'll you'd be able to do it, correct? But how long will you be able to hold this? And again, what is the purpose of doing this? Over here, offering your obeisances, it's so easy and it can just happen spontaneously. Even someone who hasn't done obeisance, like our Sunday school, we teach our children how to offer obeisances, how to enter the temple, different etiquette. So even someone who's for the first time seeing and you show them, immediately they can offer their obeisance, whether half Dandvat or full Dandvat, whatever be that case. But over here, just someone watching, how difficult is it going to be? So similarly, over here, this gives us a clue why devotion is better than mysticism. So let's see what mysticism is all about. It is self-censored desires, material profit. I want to be God. I want to be the greatest, driven by this greed that we have, selfish or self-centered. It is independent and depends on efforts of us alone, whatever I do. So, Joby, whatever progress I'm doing, is because of my efforts. Conditional, motivated, and interrupted, like what we saw Vishwamitra's story. And it is self is limited, therefore it is powerless. We all are limited. There's only that much we'd be able to get, and guaranteed failure on the path of what the process of yoga is. Whereas bhakti, okay, is Krishna centric. And bhakti, by definition, is there's no aspiration. So in the evenings, we are doing the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And then we've learned about the Ragatmika Bhaktas, the Raganugas. And then now, of course, our stages, it is the sadhaka. So gradually that consciousness is getting elevated. It's getting elevated. And finally, there's no desire for profit. It's just Krishna. And yesterday's class, it was discussed that, you know, um, Sameshwar Prabhu was mentioning Bhisham Pitama. He gave the definition of what is love. Love is exclusivity. It's single focus, single minded, just one. One entity is whom you love. Then after the class, Sachirani and I were discussing, but we see that we have love for our parents, our siblings, our children, our spouse, our friends, so many things that we have love for. So what exactly is love? And then we came to this conclusion that yes, in bhakti, that single focus is Krishna, Krishna. And anything and everything, you love that person in relationship you see with Krishna. Like Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj had said, this is not your family. Why do you look at it as your family? My wife, my son, my this, my that. Why don't you look at this as Krishna's family? That this is Krishna's family, and I'm just a caretaker. I have the opportunity to care. So that love, whatever we have for them, is in relationship to Krishna. So that is God centricity. Everything is in relationship to Krishna, and it is selfless. This is real love. Love is always giving, not expecting anything in return. What we do is lust. It's a perverted reflection of love. Then determination and endeavors. We know the story of Damodar Leela, correct? Always two fingers short. Always two fingers short. Determination. Mother Yashoda, she was sweating, she was panting. She didn't give up. Her rope got over, she got more ropes. The whole village, Brajgaon, brought all the ropes. Still, she didn't give up. She kept trying, correct? However, we understand from that past time the mercy of Krishna is required. Nothing can work without that mercy. So, always dependent. A devotee is always dependent, not independent. And unconditional, uninterrupted. It goes on and on. Once there is that spontaneity, you don't stop. There is nothing will stop that. And since Krishna is unlimited, all power, correct? You're connected to that directly. So there is nothing which will be able to stop you. Nothing stops you towards your goal. What is it? Success is the only outcome. Hare Krishna. So this is why devotion transcends mysticism. Mysticism may seem very alluring. Imagine you could get anything you wanted just by thinking of it. Just think about it. What are you going to do with it? Further get trapped in it. So, bhakti, all these things, it looks as broken pieces of glass, like what Dhruva Maharaj did, broken pieces of glass. Hare Krishna. So, Prabhu's Matajis, we have 5 minutes. If anyone has a question or would like to make a comment, share some realization, please unmute and do so. Okay, if there are no questions, it's over to you, Madhupati Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Very well. 654.
Huh? Yeah. Prabhupada said, no? Eloquence is fact stated concisely. Trying to follow, though I'm very guilty. I can go on and on. Hare Krishna.
Yeah,
Thank you for the opportunity.
No questions, no discussions.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
Very nice class, Prabhuji, as always. I really like the example of the treadmill, that we are just in the same place and there is no progress. So how important the elevation of the consciousness is, and that's what my take from this is. And very nice slides. Thank you so much for sharing, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, the thing of treadmill, Mataji, is, kitna pasina bahate hum. And our focus is for improving the body. That exercise that we do, that's what is happening. Yoga is a very popular, I don't know if I should call it a sport, but world over, yoga is taking, and crazy. People are going, which is good. I mean, nothing wrong with it. The body, after all, is a temple. It holds the Paramatma, and that we need to take care of a body, not neglect a body, but take care of your body so that you look at it as an instrument which can be used in the service of Krishna.
Yes.
That should be our consciousness. And it's actually really simple if you look at it, Krishna consciousness. We are the ones who complicate it. It's really simple. We understand knowledge to aa gaya. So many classes, reading, associating, asking question answers. We have some understanding, correct, of what it is, what our purpose in life is. Now to put it into practice, that is also given. How you do it, that is also given over there. Bas it is apna zid, it is our obstinacy that we don't want to do it. And then we'll say that, oh, I can't do it. Many a times when we say I can't is simply a euphemism for me saying that I don't want to do it. Nice way of saying, because you say I don't want to do it means, it will seem, Arey, this guy is, kya kar rahe, itne saalon se kar rahe, Hare Krishna, and he's still not. But when I say I can't do it, and then all the excuses come, oh, my job, oh, in my house, I don't have support, my this, my that, my this, my that. But again, B.T. Swami's favorite quote, one of my favorite quote, when the desire to serve exceeds when the desire to serve, when the desire
Exceeds one's
serve
capacity.
capacity and ability, but still you want to serve, that won't stop you. Remember, we spoke that
Yes,
won't
yes.
stop. That's when divine empowerment happens. That's when, because Krishna sees how badly we want him. So it is actually very simple. The why, what, how, where, who, everything is laid out. Prabhupada, Acharyas, Vaishnavas, everything they've given us. But me, I have Hare Krishna. But yes, you try, even little you do. Prabhupada says, even though we are imperfect, we are following the perfect process, we will attain perfection. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. And also, yeah, from last night, I was also thinking after Prabhuji's class, how can you just love one person? So thank you for explaining that too. It makes sense now. Like,
Yeah.
love everything in relationship to Krishna, because I was like, you love your family, you love, like, how can you just love one? So now it makes more sense. So thank you for that too. Haribol.
Thank you. And I will encourage, uh, if someone has missed last night's class, there was the story Prabhu discussed of Andal, one Andal Mataji, South India. I mean, that is what love is. And it will further, how do you say, inspire us that, theek hai, what am I doing? It will inspire us to do more. So go on I think it would be recorded on our temple website and hear about Andal Mataji. Thank you, everybody. So 1 more minute is there. Any other thought or question? I see we have Murari Prem Prabhu. I was talking with Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I was talking with Prabhu and I learned that he's a farmer. He does maple production, syrup. And then later I was thinking, Prabhupada has given this, correct? Simple living, high thinking. So what a beautiful profession, one with nature, and his soul is also with Krishna. Prabhu regularly attends. Hare Krishna. Madhupati Prabhu, over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Prabhu. We'd like to wish everybody a safe and Krishna conscious day ahead, and we'd like to offer our prayers to the Supreme Lord by chanting Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama.
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna.
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
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 Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare.
Rama.
Shri Nrsimha Jai Nrsimha Jai Jai Nrsimha Praradesha Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Pringam Ugraveera
Ugraveeram,
Mahavishnu Jalantam
Vishnu,
Sarvatomukham
Jalantam, Sarvatomukham,
Narsingam Vishnu Bhadram
Narsingam,
Nityam
Vishnu,
Nityam
Bhadram,
Namiham
Timurti, Namami.
Nrsimha Bhagwan ki Jai Prahlad
Jai.
ki Jai. That's all
Jai.
our humble obeisances to all the Samar Vaishnavas, Vancha Kalpatarubhaya
Vanchakalpatarubhasya Kripasindhava
Patitanam Pavane
Vaishnavi
Vaishnavinda ki
Ki
Jai.
Jai,
Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai.
Ki Jai,
Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Ki Jai.
Gaur Premanande.
Hari 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 Bol. Thank you everybody. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna.